Hello everyone, it's Annie, and today I have my TBR cart here, and I am going to be going through my entire physical TBR here. This is inspired by Books Past Bedtime's recent video where she goes through her entire physical TBR. There are a lot of books here, so I don't know what order I'm going in. We'll see. So first we have Untold Night and Day by Bae Sua. This is a Korean translated thriller. Yeah, that's all I know about it. I bought it because I like novellas and I like Korean translated literature, so hopefully this is good. I'm hoping to get to it sometime soon. Continuing on the Korean translated lit train, I have Eran Kim's My Brilliant Life. I've talked about this in a number of different videos. This is a literary fiction about a boy growing up in Seoul in an impoverished family, and I've heard really great things about this, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this soon. And another translated book I have is The Investigation by J.M. Lee. I'm planning on reading this very soon. I'm filming this during Koreadathon, so this is probably the next book I'm going to pick up. This is a fictional, historical fiction about a real-life poet, and I love this poet. I'll have my video about him linked up there, but he was amazing, and this takes place during the Japanese occupation of Korea. So I'm really excited to read this historical fiction. And then the last two translated books I have are both by Friedrich Bachmann. They are A Man Called Uwe and Beartown. So I got these at a thrift store, and I have not read anything by Friedrich Bachmann, but I've heard great things about him, obviously. I am a little bit hesitant about this one because I know it involves like a sexual assault, but this one I'm more excited about because it is about like an old man and his life story, and it's supposed to be really cute and heartfelt. So I am excited to finally read a Friedrich Bachmann book eventually. So now we're going to talk about literary fiction. This book is Exit West. This has been on my TBR for a really long time. It's won all kinds of awards. It's about people meeting each other in a country that's on the brink of a civil war, and they embark on a love affair and go and escape where they're living. Yeah, so I don't know what drew me to this. I guess the cover, it is really kind of my style. It's blue, I like blue. And I've heard really good things about this. I'm probably going to read this for the Buzzwordathon this year because of the direction word West in the title. And then we have The Mothers by Brit Bennett. I've read Brit Bennett's The Vanishing Half, and I really liked it. I have no idea what this is about. I know it's literary fiction, and this was her debut novel, I'm pretty sure. I got this really cheaply at a book sale, so I'm just excited to read it, and the cover is really pretty too. And then we have Here Comes the Sun, which is about Jamaica. It's set in Jamaica, and it is actually sapphic, so that's exciting. It follows a woman at an opulent resort in Montego Bay, and it seems pretty hard-hitting and heavy. This is a contemporary, so I don't know when I'm going to read it because that's not exactly my thing. I did buy this because it was sapphic, so that's, you know, it just sounds like something I might like. And then we have The Secret Life of Bees by Soo Monk Kid. I did read this in high school, but I don't remember anything about it, and I found this at a little free library, so I wanted to give it another shot because it was free, it was right there. All I know is that Soo Monk Kid is a really popular author, and this is about 3 or 4 black women beekeepers who kind of take in this white girl who runs away for some reason. That's what I got from the synopsis of this. I've heard great things about it, so I can't wait to reread it. And then we have The Death of Vivek Oji by Akweke Emezi. This is a book that I really need to read sooner rather than later. It's about a gay boy in Nigeria, and one afternoon a mother opens her front door to discover her son's body at her feet. It is really heart-wrenching. I've heard that. I know that this is a lot of people's favorite book. I really do like Akweke Emezi, so I would love to give this a try. Okay, a few more like contemporary literary books here. We have Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. This is YA. but it is contemporary, it is sapphic, so that's why I bought this. It's about the LA movie industry, about a girl named Emmy, and she and her friend Charlotte discover a mysterious letter at the estate sale of a Hollywood film legend, and she chases down stuff and uncovers secrets and maybe love too. So yeah, we'll see. Nina LaCour, I really liked one of her books, Watch Over Me. I did not really like Yerba Buena that much, which you'll see in a sapphic reading vlog soon, but I am not sure about this, but I'll give it a try. And then we have Bestiary by K-Ming Chang. I am excited about this. It does have quite a low rating, but Britt from Slanted Spines really likes this, so I'd like to give it a try. It follows 3 generations of Taiwanese American women who are haunted by the myths of their homeland, and it is queer, so that is also a reason why I want to read this. I got this at a thrift store, so again, none of these books were breaking the bank. So I am excited to give this a try. And then we have Loveless by Alice Oseman. I am so excited to read this. It has an ace, possibly Aro protagonist, I'm not sure. Her name is Georgia, and this follows her going from high school to college and like kind of finding herself and her sexuality. And I have heard nothing but good things about this. I've never read anything by Alice Oseman. I know that's like really strange, but I am really excited for this to be my first Alice Oseman that I try. And then we have You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno. Again, this has a quite low rating, but I am convinced somehow that I will really love this. It's about Magpie Lewis, who writes in a notebook, and it kind of is her world that she wants to live in instead of the horrible, traumatic world that she does live in regarding her family, where her father cheated on her mother. Her mother's an alcoholic, and I am gathering, was assaulted at a party. So I have heard really mixed things about this, but some people I trust really, really liked this, and the cover's gorgeous. And I do like Katrina Leno's other books. Summer of Salt is one of my favorite books, so I'm gonna give this a try. And then we have The Water Dancer, which is, I know, a really, really big book, like big as in popular. I can't believe I have not read this yet. So it follows Hiram Walker, who was born into slavery, but he was gifted with mysterious power. So he has some water power, and yeah, I don't know. That's all I know. That's all I need to know, honestly. I mean, the reviews for this book really speak for itself. I got this at a thrift store. The jacket is really messed up, but that's okay. And then we have We Are Not Free by Tracy Chee. This is a YA historical fiction about the Japanese internment camps during World War II. This follows 14 teens who are in the camps, and I have heard nothing but good things about this. It's won all sorts of awards, and I feel like Tracy Chee is probably going to become one of my favorite authors after reading this, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And then we have Interior Chinatown. This is a satire written entirely in like screenplays. I didn't know that when I bought it, but it's about a screenwriter, I think, or no, he's an actor, and he's a Chinese actor, and he's struggling to kind of get out of like the stereotyped roles. That's all I know about this. I've heard that some people really like it and some people hate it. It did win the National Book Award, so that's always good. So yeah, we'll see. And then a book I'm very excited about is Phoenix Extravagant by Yoon-Ha Lee. Yoon-Ha Lee is one of my favorite writers. He writes mostly science fiction, and this just sounds amazing. This is YA, I believe. I mean, this cover is just so exciting. It follows Gien Jebi. They aren't a fighter or a subversive, they just want to paint. So this follows a non-binary character, which is really exciting. One day they're jobless and desperate. The next, Jebi finds themselves recruited by the Ministry of Armor to paint the mystical signs that animate the occupying government's automaton soldiers. But when Jebi discovers the depths of the Razine government's horrifying crimes and the awful source of the magical pigments they use, they find that they can no longer stay out of politics. What they can do is steal a Razi, the Ministry's mighty dragon automaton, and find a way to fight. This sounds amazing. I cannot wait to get to this one. And next we have The Verifiers by Jane Peck. This was my book of the month pick for March. It's sapphic, that's why I picked it. It is a mystery. She's a mystery reader, but when a client goes missing, she starts digging deeper than she's supposed to. Part literary mystery, part immigrant family story. Okay, I'm sold. I have not seen many people talk about this one, but I'm really hoping it's good. And then we have actually 2 books by Erica Waters. We have Ghostwood Song and The River Has Teeth. So I am really excited for this. They're both sapphic, I believe. This one is about Shady Grove, who inherited her father's ability to call ghosts from the grave with his fiddle. Yeah, that sounds awesome. And this is about one girl fueled with rage and another by magic. I know nothing about this book. I just bought this because the cover was amazing and I heard that it was sapphic. I know that these are both kind of horror, and you know I'm here for sapphic horror, so I'm hoping to read these very, very soon for a future sapphic reading vlog. Okay, so speaking of sapphic books, I have the second and third book of the Baru Cormorant series by Seth Dickinson. I loved the first book so much and I bought these. This one is so big, oh my gosh. I am really excited to read these because the first book was one of my favorite books that I have ever read, and Baru is one of my favorite characters that I have ever read about. So I'm really, really excited to continue this series. Okay, so a few random books. We have Wicked. I bought this just because it has green sprayed edges. I didn't buy this. This was from a free library, so it didn't even cost me anything. And I love the musical. I have heard that the book is really different and it's not for everyone, so I don't know if I'll even read this. I might just give it back to the little free library eventually. We'll see. I also have this book, which I got from a local witchy shop, The Witch's Book of Self-Care. It's just really cute, really pretty, and just something to help me because I really need, like, you know, magical ways to soothe and care for your body and spirit. Like that's something that I need. So that'll be an interesting book. I also have a nonfiction book here. This is the only nonfiction book on this TBR. I have The Power of Babel. I love languages and linguistics. My major was linguistics, if you didn't know, and this is just something that I picked up one day, or maybe my mom bought it for me, I don't remember, but sounds really interesting, and I'll read anything about language. Okay, and then another sapphic book we have is After Love. This sounds so amazing. It's a contemporary fantasy about a girl who, her girlfriend dies in a car crash and she becomes a reaper in the afterlife, and she's trying to get back to her girlfriend or something. I got this special Fairy Loot edition and it's so pretty. I can't wait to read this. I brought it as a treat for myself for reaching 50k words in my novel that I'm drafting. And then we have the famous N.K. Jemisin's 5th season. I still need to read this. It, like everyone and their mother has read it already. It just sounds amazing. It is one of the biggest fantasy trilogies ever. And I've never read anything by N.K. Jemisin, so I really need to start. And then we have A Master of Jinn by P. Jelly Clark. I've heard great things about this, and I also read the short story that this is based on by him. It is also sapphic. It is set in like a steampunk kind of Cairo in 1912. It follows a young woman working for the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments, and Supernatural Entities. Yeah, so this is gonna be good. P. Djeli Clark, great author, and sapphic, so I'm sold. And then another sapphic fantasy is The Unspoken Name. I am really excited about this. I've heard really good things. This is about a name that I cannot pronounce, Kasorwe, I'm sorry, was raised by a death cult steeped in old magic. On her 14th birthday, she's destined to climb a mountain to sacrifice herself at the Unspoken One's shrine. Yet even as she prepares for death, a sorcerer offers her a new fate: leave with him and live. Turn away from her destiny and her god to become his thief, spy, and assassin. Together they could topple an empire. However, she will discover that gods remember, and friends can turn to traitors. Interesting stakes here. I am very intrigued by that. I actually didn't read the synopsis before I bought it. I just bought it because it was sapphic. So yeah, this is exciting. Okay, finally top shelf here, another sapphic fantasy. Who is surprised? We have The Unbroken by C.L. Clark. I'm very excited about this. This follows Terrain, who is a soldier who was stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire. Yeah. And it also follows Luca, who needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and orders. Interesting. Okay, I've heard this does really interesting things with colonialism, and I've just wanted to read this since it came out. It's part of the famous sapphic trifecta, which The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri is also part of, which I also need to read. And this is just such a gorgeous cover. Trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled, and together they'll set an empire ablaze. So yeah, I need to read the other two of the sapphic trifecta. And then we have the only indie book on here, I think, which is The Sword of Kaigen. This is a Japanese-inspired fantasy. I've heard amazing things about this. The synopsis is really long and convoluted, but I have heard so many raving reviews about this that I just knew I needed to pick it up. So I'm hoping to read this eventually. It is quite long, though. And then we have a few YA sci-fis. The first is this duology, Crown Chasers and Throne Breakers, which just sounds so fascinating, and these covers are gorgeous. It's by Rebecca Coffindaffer, and it follows this crown chase, which is like a race of spaceship pilots to win the royalty or something like that. And she is the daughter of someone important in the empire, and she's kind of expected to win, but she wants to do her own thing. So I feel like this is going to be amazing. I've talked about this duology in a couple of my other videos as well, so you can check those out, but I'm just really excited about this. And I was sent these by the author. I won them in a giveaway, so thank you very much. Okay, another YA sci-fi is Goddess in the Machine. I bought this gorgeous edition with gold sprayed edges, and it's signed. It is just so beautiful. It's by Owl Crate. This is about a girl who was in like cryosleep, and she wakes up far in the future, and humanity has kind of degressed, and then they treat her like a goddess because they don't understand where she came from or the technology that she was used to put asleep. So this sounds really interesting. I've also heard that it does really fascinating things with language due to the time jump, so I am really looking forward to reading this one. And then another sapphic sci-fi is Light from Uncommon Stars. This was a gift from my friend Stephanie. Thank you so much. I am so excited to read this. This cover is just so beautiful. One of the most beautiful sci-fi covers I have ever seen. It is about musicians I know that it's kind of like a cozy sci-fi almost. It is Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet in this defiantly joyful adventure set in California's San Gabriel Valley with cursed violins, Faustian bargains, and a queer alien courtship over fresh-made donuts. Yeah, this sounds so cute and so good, and I really need to get on reading this. So speaking of Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, I have this. I am a big Becky Chambers fan, and so I really need to read this series that started it all. This is just amazing. It's about this ragtag group of found family people who go through wormholes, and they sound so fun. And it is a whole long series, so I really hope I like this first one. And then one of the books I got most recently is Sister Song. This is a historical fantasy. It is a reimagining of an old British folklore ballad. In the ancient kingdom of Dumnonia, there is old magic to be found in the whisper of the wind, the roots of the trees, and the curl of the grass. Ooh, interesting. I also believe that this has a trans female main character, which is probably the reason why I'm so excited about it. This cover is gorgeous. I've heard really amazing reviews, so I can't wait to read this. And there are so few books that deal with like super ancient Celtic myths, so that makes me even more excited for it. Okay, just 5 more. We have The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This is the first book of his Dandelion Dynasty, trilogy. It is also really convoluted, so I don't know, it just sounds really politically interesting, and it's had really good reviews. I really like Ken Liu. He translated The Three Body Problem, and he's also written a few short stories that I really liked. It's just something that I feel like I need to read. And then we have this big chunky book, which is Upon a Burning Throne. This is an Indian-inspired fantasy. I've heard that it's really dark and violent and upsetting. In a world where demigods and demons walk among mortals, the emperor of the vast burnt empire has died, leaving a turbulent realm without an emperor. 2 young princes, Adri and Shvate, are in line to rule, but birthright does not guarantee inheritance. For any successor must sit upon the legendary burning throne and pass the test of fire. Okay. This is a huge book, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I've heard people on BookTube really, really raving about this, and I really like when epic fantasies are very, very dark and grim, so I'm excited to see when I get to this. Okay, so next we have the To Like the Lightning series by Ada Palmer. This is a sci-fi series. I've been wanting to read this for a really long time. It sounds like it has really cool world building and politics, and it kind of gives me Ancillary Justice vibes, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Again, it's really convoluted, but it has a really interesting like societal system, and it kind of has like interesting things to do with gender, so that is very exciting. And then we have The Space Between Worlds, which I meant to read in February but didn't get to, so I'm really hoping to read it soon though for a Sapphic reading vlog. This is Sapphic. It's about a girl who is hired to basically go to other dimensions because she's special in that something special is about her and she can travel to more dimensions than anyone else. So she's hired by this company to do so, and yeah. All I know is that I've heard some mixed things about it, but I think personally I will really like it. And then arbitrarily the last one is The First Sister, which I have been excited to read since I heard about it. First of all, this is gorgeous, so gold and interesting. I believe this has a non-binary main character, which is exciting. Even if not, it's still queer. So First Sister has no name, no voice, and no agency. The sisterhood forced her into the role of comfort women for soldiers of Earth and Mars who own the rights to her body and soul, but no more. This is her story. So interesting. There are also a couple of other characters. I think this is dual or more POV. So I'm interested to read this. It is sci-fi and it is LGBT. So anything that has those two labels on it, I'm gonna read. So thank you for watching this video about my physical TBR. I don't know how much this will change or if I will read these all before I buy more books. I don't think I'm gonna put any of those kind of limits on myself, but I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye!